Ahoy ahoy! Uh, Welcome back to the channel. If you're watching another one of my videos, and if it's your first time, welcome. Um, we are taking a flip through of this book that I've bought on eBay for like $10. This is The Beatles, an illustrated record by Roy Carr and Tony Tyler. Um, just a quick background. Well, I have been looking for the Beatles box of Vision, but not the set. I just wanted the book, the hardcover book that came with it, because it had vinyl size, full size reproductions of the front covers, and couldn't find any edition or any listing that only had the book. And I didn't want to buy the gigantic clamshell thing, because for one, I don't have space for it, and two, it's designed for the. I just didn't like the design of the box itself, but that hardcover with the linen cover, like the original anthology hardcover underneath, plus silver stamping, and I'm assuming that it had better pin sharp reproductions of the vinyl covers. That will be nice, because I don't buy vinyl, but I want the covers, including the backs, right? So, but until I was someone suggested I look for this, because this is a pretty old book, originally published in 1975. This is a 1976 edition, so, and it's about what, seventh printing, which is okay. For $10, and for a book that's older than I am, it actually looks good. Look at the except for you can see the remainder mark in there, but it's not disgusting. So yeah, this should be enough for to tide me over now. It has some really nice reproductions of the album covers. Anyway, let's take a quick flip through. I really can't fit the entire thing, because really this is big, huge. This is huge, and maybe it might help me retain the video, because I might, just in case of copyright strike. And I'm thirsty. Anyway, here we go. So this is the first page. We are now taking a quick flip through. So copyright page, table of contents, the intro page. When I bought this set of pages was falling out from the book, and I just stuck it with PVA glue, book binders glue, and yeah, it worked. It stays on. It's all I needed. So for a book that's designed in the 70s, this is actually well thought of. Some of the photos are a bit grainy, unrestored as it were, but yeah, especially you can see the grain and the the blur when you enlarge photos. You can see it there, but yeah, it had dates. I mean, probably if you're a Beatles fan, you probably don't even need this. But what I'm after are these full-size covers. It doesn't have the full markings. It doesn't have the mono stereo markings at the corner. It doesn't have the. It's the edges are kind of cut off. But yeah, that's a pretty nice start. So anyway, here we go. This is the a bunch of write-ups. This is the Caverneers, a bunch of ads that I've never seen before, actually. And then you got With the Beatles. This is not full size, unfortunately. It's got, I don't know, probably 10 inches. It's a 10-inch reproduction, but and it's too dark, like the original UK issue was. So yeah, and there's a George ad right there for what is this, flamenco, huh? Okay, got these little the celebrity profiles. You even have favorite foods, favorite drinks. They were very much into meat back then. Paul and Ringo are now vegans, but here you go, you know, chicken Maryland, lamb chops, steak, dang, yeah, and then Beatlemania era albums, which means Hard Day's Night is just around the corner, right there, and it's in black and white instead of the blue borders and the red text. But that's fine. I have the bigger versions of all these photos in Robert Freeman's book, the hardcover one. If you want to see me do a flip through, let me know. Just hit the comments. I remember owning was it a DVD, I think, or I don't know, promotional thingy that has these, and I sold it because, yeah, don't know why. Yeah, NME as right there, NME, and then here's the Beatles for sale. Now, if you look closely, the details are grainy. I think these were set from, you know, back then they didn't use computers when printing, so all of these were a photo set, meaning they someone actually took a picture using a specialized camera for, I forgot the term, was it photostat, where they use a rig, an overhead rig that takes photos, high quality photos of these, and they uses the negatives for printing. Forgot to point out that these things have these details here. Details, the album's track listing. These are the UK configurations of the albums. You would think that these you get the US versions because these are like published in the US, but no, these are, oh no, don't, it's falling apart again. It's unbelievable. Anyway, okay, there we go. So photos from the movie set, the Help movie set. This is the Help cover, which is, again, looks a little more like a 45 than a full-size LP cover. So here we go, Shea Stadium. More, and then a full-size Rubber Soul, which looks kind of pale, and the Parlophone logo is cut off right there, but yeah. And that's full-size Revolver, thankfully, but it's not sharp. You can tell because the the text, trademark, the gramophone logo, it's kind of blurry right there. Kind of blurry. So the photos are not really that clear compared to, I don't know, maybe I never owned a vinyl, so I don't know. It has a mono designation at the top. Yeah. You know, the funny thing is the Beatles, the 2009 remasters, the quality of the logos, the quality of these are also, you know, it's about the same, which is odd. You know, I probably will make a comparison video. I think I posted about this some time ago on my Instagram, but I would love to make a comparison of the print quality because it's not very good if you look closely. I mean, the thing is, I didn't notice it at the time because I didn't have anything to compare it to, and until, well, I think it's until I had the mono box set. Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about it another day. So this is the Oldies but Goldies compilation. So released as a stopgap between Revolver and Sgt. Pepper, and was never acknowledged as an official part of their canon afterwards because it only had one new song in it, and Past Masters. It was incorporated later, in fact, Past Masters. So this is Sgt. Pepper, which this is the second full-size reproduction I've had. The other one is in the Mark Lewison compilation. No, the Beatles recording sessions book. It has a full-size reproduction of it as well. So there's the Magical Mystery Tour, not full-size. I think this was the. It's more like this should be reproduced here, you know, to match the UK release. It's weird because this edition wasn't made part of the UK canon until like around the same time that this book was published. So I don't know. And it wasn't made a full member of the Beatles canon until the CDs were released in the late 80s. Here we go. That's Wonderwall music by George Harrison. And oops, hey, yeah, that's John and Yoko's first album, solo duo album. Yeah, this is the white album, and look here, this is black and white cartoons cover. So these appeared at the back of the Yellow Submarine LP in color. Okay, this is the Yellow Submarine cover, but if you notice, it doesn't have the words "Nothing is real" below the logo, so I think this is a later print, and it says at the top, selections by the Beatles plus original film music. So yeah, it must have been a later edition. If anyone knows which edition this is, like, please just put it in the comments. So these are this basically represents the white album. It's not even properly trimmed. Yeah, the 4 insert photos. Not even a poster though. And this is John and Yoko's second project. And these are the boys doing the rooftop, as we all know from the Peter Jackson movie. And then this is a full size. I'm glad that they included a full size version of Abbey Road. It's not it's not a pin sharp reproduction, but at least, you know, if one day if I ever get the hardcover from the box of Vision, I might go nuts and just, you know, remove this page carefully from this book and frame this. This is actually the nicest reproduction in the entire album. Okay, so this is when John does Cold Turkey. This is the wedding album right there, and Live Peace in Toronto, and Ringo's solo. So this must be 1970. Yeah, they did chronologically. So that's Paul's solo album, McCartney, and full-size reproduction of the Let It Be cover. Funny, the Let It Be cover, if you take a look at the modern renders of this logo, it's not the same font. The only time they used the original font was in the 2009 masters. All the editions after, they used a different font. It's not noticeable, but you know, if you look closely, there are differences. So they also have a section on the solo years, including some excellent All Things Must Pass, Buku's Blues, John Lennon's Primal Scream album. If you look up the Japanese title of this album, it's different. It's not Plastic Ono Band. Forgot. Something like John's Scream or something. Gah, keep forgetting. Funny, I recently won an auction of the 2 CD edition of this album, and it's a Japanese edition. So there's an extra booklet in it. And I was looking at the photos of because it takes some time before it gets shipped to me here in the Philippines. So I was looking at the photos as my forwarder took them, and the spine has a Japanese title that's different from this. And I looked it up, and it's legit, but it's not. I wonder why they didn't just go straight with Plastic Ono Band or John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, because there is a Yoko Ono album with the same title with a different cover. The cover, the thing is, it's the same position, basically same photo, but they flipped positions, and that was just Yoko, and her backing band was John, Ringo, and Klaus Vormann. And yeah, you could expect the usual noise from noisy stuff, but you know, I've grown to appreciate that from Yoko. But don't tell anyone. Um, yeah, so we got this is I don't know if this is a bootleg. I don't know if we're gonna be seeing an official release of this album. This is the Tony Sheridan era. You know, I don't know. Maybe we will see. I mean, we've already heard some of the tracks on Anthology, so it's just a matter of time, I guess. I mean, I don't know who owns the masters or if, but yeah. So Ram, I have unboxed a deluxe edition of this in a different video. Imagine I recently just acquired a copy of the deluxe, the 2-disc edition of this album, right there. This is Imagine. I might unbox this too someday. I don't know. Let me know if you wanna unbox that. I mean, I know a lot of people are more interested in unboxing CDs, but when I uploaded the Paul McCartney, the second half of my Paul McCartney CDs, well, I'm getting a lot of views, so I guess people are interested in it. So anyway, concert for Bangladesh. Sometime in New York City, which this year is the 50th anniversary of this album, and they set up a website for it, just recently, a unique website, and you know, which got people thinking, hey, are we going to get 50th anniversary Ultimate Mixes edition? And it's already halfway in the year, and we still have like 5 months before the year ends, so I'm hoping that we could get one. I mean, it's not my favorite John Lennon album, and I know a lot of people are not, you know, exactly fans of, well, the title of the first single has the N-word in it, so I don't know. Hey, so this was released when? 1973. I've also just recently acquired copies of the CDs. I'll unbox it later, but I've made a custom box for it, and it's not finished yet. See, but it's a custom clamshell box, and it's got like these two. So you got there, you know. Oh, it's not finished yet. See, I don't have the cladding or the graphics yet. It's just super basic stuff. Well, when I'm finished, you'll be the first ones to see it here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that mark there's bugging me. Oh, by the way, I also unboxed Red Rose Speedway in another video. Just look it up on my channel. Okay. Loving in material. Well, you know, I am wishing that one day we get a CD version, or mini LP version, even better, of the George Harrison set. Remember the maroon vinyl box set, that career spanning box set that they did, that had like everything from Wonderwall music all the way to Brainwashed, and plus the live album. I wish we could get a mini LP version of it with the, you know, all the like the die cut cover on extra texture, and the what else, the yeah, all the gimmick packaging. You know, I love gimmick packaging. Although I wouldn't turn it away if they made something like you know, with Paul McCartney's albums, they have these, or with the Beatles remasters and the John Lennon signature box, they have these bands, the bar here that makes the album rectangular without messing up the dimensions of the original cover. I wouldn't mind having something like that for George Harrison's albums and Ringo's albums as well. You know, I know that the mini LPs are gonna be super I don't know, expensive. I think it costs about $30 per album. I don't know. Okay, so hey, I'm just covering these. So that's a promotional thing for a sticker for a Jet, Paul McCartney's Jet single. This is the Band on the Run era now. And what else? Good Night Vienna. Okay, this is cool. I mean, would be nice if we can get the. I think there was a mini LP version of the this album, Walls and Bridges, where the strips are functional, because on the John Lennon signature box it's just this cover, doesn't have the. Anyway, the go, and then you got the Ringo Starr's Goodnight Vienna, which is I recently saw a promotional video. Somebody uploaded a promotional video of Goodnight Vienna with John Lennon doing, well, it's Ringo Starr's new album, and it's funny, funny and sad, because, well, John is not with us anymore, but his sense of humor shines through in it. Got Dark Horse, not necessarily my favorite George album, but it's part of his canon. Yeah, and then Wings and John Lennon's. When was this? I think this was Whatever Gets You Through That. This is John jamming with Elton John at Madison Square Garden. So I think this was before he retired. No, he went in hiatus in 1975. And then the outro, which I guess covers the events that take up until the book was published, so mid 70s, 73, 74. Yeah, and that was it. And then you got a list of American editions, including the Beatles story. I used to have this on cassette, I remember that. I mean, the Beatles American catalog is still relatively easy to find as a set with the US albums box set, although I've heard that people aren't happy with it because they didn't use the US mixes. Instead, they used the 2009 masters and sequenced them into the albums. So it's a modern mixtape that happens to match the running order of the US albums, except for those unique things like the James Bond intro on Help. This Four Seasons thing is not part of that box set though. And then you got the Revolver with the shorter running order. And then you've got the folky Rubber Soul with I Just Seen a Face as the intro. Yeah, but the sequence, they didn't use the US mixes, so, for people who grew up with those albums, it kind of messes up the experience. I don't know. They even have a bootleg section here. Weird. It says, the caption says, artwork for a record that was never made. Interesting. Wonder who drew this. It wasn't credited, so yeah. Would have been funny. Had these little weird things in it. And then Odds and Ends, which hardcore collectors would probably already have this. Like it lists the Beatles Hamburg tape, Decca Records audition tape, which most of which we heard on Anthology 1. It had Pete Best in it, so it's nice because Pete Best is finally earning royalties. And speaking of whom, this Best of the Beatles, that title is misleading because it means Peter Best of the Beatles. It's not the best songs, which is why the songs here are, yeah, these were performed by Pete Best. Best of the Beatles, okay. And Family Way, I think this was reissued on CD. I just can't remember what record label it was. And then you got the section is called Fellow Travelers, so they're basically the people around the Beatles circle. So you see in the photos, you got the Badfinger right here. You got Peter and Gordon, people whom they wrote songs for, and this page lists the stuff that eventually found their way through to the compilation songs Lennon and McCartney gave away. And yeah, and when we get to this little funny section at the end, it says Reader's Diary, further Beatle events to be filled in as and when. So this was 1976, so John was Oh, that's crazy. John was still alive when this book was published. This particular copy was published, and thank God the whoever previously owned this didn't write anything in it. So it's, you know, the condition is nice. It's great for $10. And if you're looking for reproductions of the album covers in, you know, in relatively good condition, I mean in good quality, like, you know, full-size vinyl, might as well get this. I mean, I've seen quite a few copies on the cheap, so yeah. Even had a sticker that says $1.29. Well, anyway, that's a pretty long video, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. And you know the drill: like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.